rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brothers stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. They say the world's gone crazy, twisted and strange, but wisdom lasts through every kind of change. Step up, wake up, take control of the fight. We're breaking chains with every word we write. Thomas bringing truth like pages from the past. A voice that echoes, never fading fast. It's a podcast, but it feels like more. Opening doors you've never seen before. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brothers stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Thomas bringing truth like pages from the past. A voice that echoes, never fading fast. It's a podcast, but it feels like more. Opening doors you've never seen before. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brothers stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Fades with a confident cadence, supported by laid back beat, smooth bass line. The vibe is gritty, yet motivation. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Yeah, yeah. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Yeah. Brothers stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Fades with a confident cadence, supported by laid back beats and a smooth bass line. The vibe is gritty, yet motivation. Yeah. Yeah. Yo. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype.
Yeah. Mic check 1, 2. This is Thomas on the air. Pulling back the curtains, truth is laid bare. No fake smiles, no filters, no disguise. Just a raw reflection in your mind's eyes. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brothers stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. They say the world's gone crazy, twisted and strange, but wisdom lasts through every kind of change. Step up, wake up, take control of the fight. We're breaking chains with every word we write.
Thomas bringing truth like pages from the past. A voice that echoes, never fading fast. It's a podcast, but it feels like more. Opening doors you've never seen before.
Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brothers stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload.
Thomas bringing truth like pages from the past. A voice that echoes, never fading fast. It's a podcast, but it feels like more. Opening doors you've never seen before.
Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brothers stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones,
ready to unload. Fades with a confident cadence, supported by laid-back beat, them smooth bass line. The vibe is gritty, yet motivation. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Yeah, yeah. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Yeah. Brother, stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Fades with a confident cadence, supported by laid-back beats and a smooth bass line. The vibe is gritty, yet motivation. Yeah. Yeah. Yo. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype.
Yeah. Mic check 1, 2. This is Thomas on the air. Pulling back the curtains, truth is laid bare. No fake smiles, no filters, no disguise. Just a raw reflection in your mind's eyes. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brothers, stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. They say the world's gone crazy, twisted and strange, but wisdom lasts through every kind of change. Step up, wake up, take control of the fight. We're breaking chains with every word we write.
Thomas bringing truth like pages from the past. A voice that echoes, never fading fast. It's a podcast, but it feels like more. Opening doors you've never seen before.
Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brothers, stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload.
Thomas bringing truth like pages from the past. A voice that echoes, never fading fast. It's a podcast, but it feels like more. Opening doors you've never seen before.
Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brothers, stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload.
Fades with a confident cadence, supported by laid-back beat, them smooth bass line. The vibe is gritty, yet motivation. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Yeah, yeah. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Yeah. Brothers, stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Fades with a confident cadence, supported by laid-back beats and a smooth bass line. The vibe is gritty, yet motivation. Yeah. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype.
Yeah. Mic check 1, 2. This is Thomas on the air. Pulling back the curtains, truth is laid bare. No fake smiles, no filters, no disguise. Just a raw reflection in your mind's eyes. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brothers stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. They say the world's gone crazy, twisted and strange, but wisdom lasts through every kind of change. Step up, wake up, take control of the fight. We're breaking chains with every word we write. Thomas bringing truth like pages from the past. A voice that echoes, never fading fast. It's a podcast, but it feels like more. Opening doors you've never seen before. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brothers stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Thomas bringing truth like pages from the past. A voice that echoes, never fading fast. It's a podcast, but it feels like more. Opening doors you've never seen before. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Brothers stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Fades with a confident cadence, supported by laid back beat through smooth bass line. The vibe is gritty, yet motivation. Keep it real, stay strong, rise above the hype. Yeah, yeah. Life's got layers, not just what's in sight. Yeah. Brothers stand tall, let's rewrite the code. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload. Truth in your headphones, ready to unload.
What is going on, everybody? It is Saturday, September 13th, 7 p.m. on the dot, 7:15 actually. And we are going to get into a very, very good show tonight. Hope everybody hit that like button on your way in. Do not forget to vote on the poll that you should see. Are modern women gold diggers? So far, we have 100% saying no. There's been one vote. And don't forget to like the video as you make your way in. I hope everybody's having a great weekend amongst all of the chaos and confusion going on in the world today. I'm not even going to get into that because this is not a political channel. This is a relationship channel. So while we're waiting on everybody to jump into the stream, do not forget that we're going to be talking about the hard truth about modern dating, men who can't get women versus women who only want money. So what do you think? What do you think about the men that can't get women And what do you think about the women that only want money? Because we're going to break down more of an in-depth study about men that can't get women. Because there's a whole community out there that complains and moans and groans about women, but they can't get women because of themselves. So if you're just joining, don't forget, hit that like on your way in. We're going to get started with a quick video. The video is called Gold Digger.
Just had a quick question. Why is it that when women, especially...
So the video is called I'm a Gold Digger. Now, I'm going to let the video play and then we're going to talk about it.
Hey guys, excuse my appearance. I just did a Pilates class. I am beat. So anyways, I just had a quick question. Why is it that when women, especially women of color, black women in particular, when we decide that we want better for our lives and want to manifest and date someone that can take care of us financially, physically, emotionally, spiritually, in just every way that we desire to be taken care of, and we finally get that, we're called gold diggers. Like any other race does it, and it's fine. Like, is the point of dating and being with someone not to find a partner that can take care of you in all the ways? And if you so choose to be with someone that does and can provide for you financially, that's absolutely okay. We have to stop thinking that because we want more, we want better, we want a guy that can take care of us financially, we're gold diggers. We are not gold diggers. That does not make you a gold digger. Every type of love does not have to come with struggle. Like, a lot of people have this misconception, oh, if we didn't struggle together, or if, you know, he's taking care of me, then I have to allow the cheating and I have to allow the abuse and all of that. No, you have to really, truly do believe that you deserve that. I know that I do. And so I just don't like when I see other people calling other women out for wanting to live a better life and going after living a better life. If you feel like you deserve to be with someone that can provide for you spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, and in other areas, stand on that. And it does not have to come with abuse. It does not have to come with being cheated on. It does not have to come with being lied to. It doesn't have to come with all of that other stuff. Like, we gotta let go of this struggle mentality and this struggle love. I get that a lot of us have not seen healthy relationships, or that our grandparents or parents dealt with it, and so we thought that that's what it's supposed to be. But for me and my house, no, I enjoy being taken care of. I enjoy being loved properly, and you should definitely not settle, because everybody's gonna always have something to say, and at the end of the day, only person's happiness that matters is yours.
So we have to stop thinking that everyone's a gold digger. And we have to stop overusing that word, gold digger. Because when we look at what a gold digger is, there are certain things that a gold digger is going to do. And then there's a certain thing that a gold digger is not going to do. So we're going to get into the topic of tonight's live, men who can't get women. And then we're going to talk about why women only want money. So we're going to talk about the men first. And I'm gonna play this just for the people watching. People can't handle the truth, so they run from it. But we're going to get into the presentation for tonight. Let me share my screen real quick. So this is the hard truth about modern dating. So for those of you who just joined, welcome. And don't forget to hit that like button as you walk in to the stream. Leave a comment and don't forget to vote on the poll. Do you think that modern women are gold diggers? Yes or no? But we're going to get into it. Men who can't get women versus women who only want money. So we're going to talk about it because there's a whole community of men that can't get women, and then there's allegedly women that just want money. So if you're curious about what this is an incel, and this the little guy that's on the right that looks like Johnny Bravo. He's called a Chad. So this is what the incels talk about all the time. So when you think about incels and you think about guys that can't get women, 90% of the time, they're the guy in the black walking away. They're an incel. And then they have this belief that Chad, the guy that looks like Johnny Bravo or an enemy of Final Fight or Streets of Rage. When I saw this picture, I automatically thought Streets of Rage or Final Fight because he looks just like an enemy of one of those two games. And this is called a Chad. So let's get into it. There is a community on Twitter right now called Involuntarily Celibate Incels. They have 37.2K followers. That is a lot of people. So when you think about men that can't get women, these are the men we're talking about. They're the incels. They're the losers. They're lames. These are the men that feminists complain about. These are the men that feminists whine about. Involuntarily celibate incels. So when it's important for us to distinguish between an incel and a non-incel guy. So what is an incel? So there's another community within the incel realm called Incel Talk. This community has 15.2K members. Think about that. That's a lot of people. So you have incels complaining about women all day, every day, all night. These are the men that can't take no for an answer. When a woman rejects you, when a woman doesn't want you, when a woman doesn't want to have anything to do with you, these are the men that feminists complain about. They're the incels. They're the losers, the lames, the jokes. So when we talk about why men can't get women, these are the men we're talking about. So 15.2K members. What do they talk about? Let's find out. I did a lot of research on what they talk about. And I barely scratched the surface, but we're gonna keep doing shows like this because the incel world is a very deep, dark world to be in. So the black pill for incels. The black pill is what usually separates incels from the rest of the manosphere. Taking the black pill means accepting that there is nothing an incel can do to attract women. I want to stop right there. And when I interact with incels or when I've seen incels online or on Twitter, they always say the same thing. Genetics. They always talk about genetics, about how they don't have the correct jawline. They don't have the correct facial features. They don't have the correct eye color or skin shade. So they're genetically blocked from dating women. All because of what they look like. And that is simply not the case. So one's genetics and bone structure, listen, bone structure, which represent immutable characteristics in a person, determine their physical attractiveness at birth. And being dealt the wrong cards is essentially a death sentence. Many incels undergo plastic surgery to look more like a child. This is a child. They want to look like Johnny Bravo of Cartoon Network. They want to look like a child. So they undergo plastic surgery to look more like a child. But black-pilled incels don't believe there are many alternatives. You can either cope with your inferior position and lie down and rot, or deletion. In a self-propagating cycle of hatred and low self-esteem, black-pilled incels will post rage fuel on forums with the intent of making incels realize how hopeless their situations are, promoting rage or even deletion as a response to the truth. One major cause of this idealization amongst incels that pushes them into this black pill are dating apps. Like Hinge, Bumble. They don't have success on dating apps because they just suck with women. It's not the women that suck, it's them that suck. Incels suck with women. And I've shared this story before, but I'm going to share it again. I remember I was living with an incel a few years ago. And the incel, he just sucked at life. Like this guy, he didn't know how to take pictures. He didn't know how to dress. He didn't know just about anything. He kind of tried the whole pickup artist story. For those of you who don't know, before the manosphere, there was pickup artists where people would go to the club and talk to women and they would rehearse lines in the mirror. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? The pickup, the PUA community back in the day, in the early 2000s, early to late 2000s. We had the pickup artists. So before the manosphere, before the red pill, the blue pill, the black pill, there was the pickup artist. And what men would do is they would go out to the club, to a bar, and talk to girls and talk to women. And they would always try to pick them up. But when you're an incel and when you're a loser, you're socially awkward, you're a beta male, you can't do that. So then you internalize that rejection, and then you project that rejection onto women, which leads to hatred of women. A lot of incels hate women. Why? Because they get rejected by women. But one of the reasons incels get rejected by women is because of them. It's not because of the women, it's because of you. Because you don't have the appropriate etiquette or the appropriate social awareness to really talk to women in the correct way. So you constantly strike out with women because you don't understand how to talk to women. So we're going to get into what they talk about. Let's look at what incels talk about. So many, I'm gonna read this, but I'm gonna blow it up so everybody can see it. Let me make sure y'all can read that. All right. So many people, this is what incels talk about. Let's look at what incels talk about. Welcome to the stream. If you just joined, don't forget, hit that like button on your way in. It helps the algorithm and it helps the channel grow. If you like what you see so far, consider subscribing to the channel and tickle that notification bell that will let you know whenever I upload new content. So what do incels talk about? Many people get rejected by their peers since the first day of school, even earlier, or whatever peculiarity they naturally have. Ugliness, autism, odd personality. Humans have evolutionarily developed the ability to stay away from such people. Being themselves is the last thing that will do most rejects any good. Y'all remember back in the day when you would talk to girls or talk to women, and you would always have people say, yo, dog, just be yourself. You don't have to do anything but be yourself. Be you. Talk to women, get to know them, but be yourself. You don't have to pretend to be somebody that you're not. Just be yourself. And Shogun says ugliness, autism, and odd peculiarity as a child for the win. I mean, that's good, but it doesn't break you as an individual. That's actually the reason, and see, this is what incels tell themselves. Being themselves is the last thing that will do most rejects any good. That is actually the reason why people reject them. Going somewhere else to other people will most likely lead to the same result. And see, this is why incels lose. You gotta be yourself if you want a girl. That's how it is. I've been on this planet for long enough to know that you will not get a woman if you are not yourself. You won't get one. If you're not authentic and unapologetically you will not, you can quote me, you will not get a woman. Because what always happens, y'all seen the movie Hitch? The guy, I forgot his name, but he's the guy that starred in Mall Cop. The kind of chubby white guy. I forget his name, but he's starred in Mall Cop. Hitch. I know his name. Hitchcast. Kevin James, that's his name. Kevin James. So Kevin James was this guy who wanted to impress this woman. I think I forgot the name of the woman. Well, it was about this guy who needed help getting a woman, so he pretended to be somebody that he wasn't, and then he almost lost the girl. You cannot get a woman if you're not authentically and unapologetically yourself. You're not going to do it. So incels think that they're going to get a girl by being a child, basically. And so as these rejects get older, they don't only have their hard to overcome flaw that made them a reject, but also the experience of being a reject. This experience usually teaches them that they can only expect rejection and further pain from putting themselves out there and taking risk. They get older and more disappointed. This makes it even harder to ever succeed for some of these people. Paired with human psychology, these people are perfectly set up to fall into isolation, addiction, and depression. Few people will ever acknowledge or even understand this, and if the rejects talk to others about this, they will be dismissed and be told not to be so negative. And I mean, that's only partially true, because a lot of incels, they get rejected because of them. They get rejected because they're doing something wrong and they don't want to stop doing it. Like, for example, I remember there was this guy who would always wear black. And we would go out. He would wear black everything. Never wore color. And he wondered why women would always go in their wallet and be like, here's my ID. Are you security? And he would always wonder why that would happen. But if you understood how people worked, people associate black with security, with a security detail, maybe even a funeral or something somber. That's what black represents. Black as a culture represents sadness, despair, depression, low self-esteem. The color black. I'm not talking about black people. So before you leave a comment talking about, you're talking about black people, I'm talking about the actual color black. And when he wore black, he would be judged for wearing black, but then he would complain that he wasn't getting the results that he wanted, but he had to change to get those results. And that's the moral of the story, is that incels have to change in order to get the results they want. You're not going to get the results that you want if you're doing the same things that got you into being an incel in the first place. This is straight from the incel Twitter. This is straight from the incel Twitter. I hate my skin, height, nutrition. And then they just rage out. Another guy says, I really get pissed about this looks makes and video results. For those of you who don't know, incels have this thing called looks maxing, where they try to like wear shoes that'll make them look taller. They'll probably undergo cosmetic surgery on their face, cosmetic surgery on their body to get muscles. They want to looks max so that they can become a child. Their goal as an incel is not to be themselves, but to be a child. And for those of you just joining, this is what a child is. The Johnny Bravo guy on the right. This is what a child. I swear he looks just like an enemy of Streets of Rage or Final Fight. He kind of does. If you look at him, he kind of looks like an enemy on Streets of Rage or Final Fight. The guy in the green neon pants, the red shirt, and the triangle haircut. But I really get pissed about looks maxing video results. A lot of them is just puberty maxing, and they already had good genes, but it was just a little fat. If you don't have a good base, it's over. This really pisses me off. Same with mewing. I believe it's BS. You can't much get away with anything if you're conventionally attractive. Any man with a girlfriend and a wife is my enemy. These are the men that be hurting women and not being able to take no for an answer. And see, this is the morsel of truth that I got from the incel community, because you always have to realize in a web of lies, you will always find a morsel of truth. Even when you talk about feminism, rad feminism, pro-black women, the alt-right, the conservatives, the Democrats, the Republicans, whoever, you will always find just a little morsel of truth in just about any movement. So he says the decline of religion and increase in online dating. We are back to the primal times where most men didn't get to reproduce and got weeded out by evolution. This disgusting nature is to blame, not women. Women are biologically designed to chase top-tier men. I'm going to say that again. Women are biologically designed to chase top tier men. Women are biologically designed to chase top tier men.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Biologically designed. Women don't want losers. They settle for losers, but they prefer top tier men. So you may be an incel watching this video, or a loser, or a lame, or a guy that just can't get women. And you're wondering, how do I get women? How do I do better? How do I go from a man that can't get a woman to a man that can get any woman he wants? If you're watching this video right now and you are a man that can't get a woman, I want you to pay very close attention to what I'm about to say. I'm going to make myself bigger because this is important. Any man can get any woman that he wants. You just have to be the man that women want to be around. That's it. This is how you go from not getting a man, not getting a woman, and being a man who can't get women to being a man who can get any woman he wants. You don't have to look smanks. You don't have to do any of that. I'm going to outline I believe it's 10 steps, 9 or 10 steps that you can implement in your life right now, and you will get just about any woman your heart desires. There's no gimmicks. There's no, I'm not trying to sell you a class on how to get women, because I don't need to do that. I believe the results speak for themselves. So if you're a guy who just joined the live stream, go ahead and hit that like button, grab a chair, because I'm about to break it down. How can incels and men improve? We always talk about what men and women shouldn't do, but now we're going to talk about what they should do. So you might be wondering, how can I improve? And this is what we call OG game. This is the game that the OGs and the pimps and the Macs and the players, this is what they would talk about when they're, this is what men would talk about when they're with themselves. Like, they would talk about how to get women. So how can incels and men improve? Number one, women often appreciate a partner who takes charge and shows masculine energy. Now, before you get on your soapbox and try and talk me down and argue me down, let me finish. However, it's important to know when to dial it back and respect boundaries. Confidence without arrogance is key. You gotta have the confidence without arrogance. But before we go any further, I forgot I had a video I wanted to play. This philosophy. This is from The Courage to Be Disliked. And we're not going to watch the whole thing. We're going to watch some of it. So this is coming from the book, The Courage to Be Disliked. So if you're an incel or you're a guy that can't get a woman, this part of the video and live stream is for you. We're going to watch this, and then I'm going to pause and give a little bit of commentary as the video goes on.
The Courage to Be Disliked, written by Fumite Koga and Ichiro Kishimi, is a dialogue between a youth and a philosopher about Adler's psychology and popular philosophy. The philosophy we hear in most places is based often on Freud's ideas, which are quite popular even today. But Adler's ideas are not so popular, as they often clash with conventional views. This book summary will help you figure out how to deal with traumas and be free from other people's expectations. You will also learn a few things about how our emotions work and how much power they have over us if we don't have courage. Alrighty, so without further ado, let's dive right in. Lesson number 1. It takes courage to see the world without any filter. The world we live in seems so complex, doesn't it? But what if I tell you that it's simple? You won't believe me, right? After all, how could the world be a simple place with so many complexities? It's highly dynamic, and every time we turn on the news channel, we see so much drama that it feels chaotic. As a result, life feels so complicated. But if you look at it carefully, it's not the world that is complicated. It's actually the opposite. The world is simple, but human beings are complicated.
There we go. The world is simple. Human beings are complicated. But an incel will say the opposite. They'll say the world is complicated. They'll say I'm complicated. And then they'll get it all wrong. Let's continue.
So whatever we see, or indulge in, becomes complicated. Every person sees the world with a different filter. That's where complexities arise. It's hard to share your perspective with every other person. Many contradictions exist between what we see and what the other people see. The surprising thing is that reality gets distorted when we look through filters. These filters are born.
Also, fair use. Fair use. I just want to say that. Fair use.
Due to our previous experiences and future expectations. We hardly look at reality without biases. But don't worry, there is still hope. We all can change for good, don't we? Unfortunately, it requires a great deal of courage. One has to let go of pre-existing beliefs to see the reality as it is. When you avoid change and stick to your rigid beliefs, you stop yourself from attaining happiness.
See? You have to let go of those rigid beliefs. Those rigid beliefs that you have within yourself. You have to let go. You can't say, I'll never get a woman and then expect to get a woman. It's like the book, The Law of Attraction. You attract what you are. So if you're a loser, you're going to attract other losers. If you're a winner, what are you going to attract? Winners. If you're a person with low self-esteem, you're not going to be happy around people with high self-esteem. And if you have high self-esteem, you're not going to be happy around people with low self-esteem. So you have to get rid of those biases and those rigid personalities that you have and learn to look at life through a different lens. And then all of this will make sense. It'll all make sense.
You have two choices. Either you can keep complaining about how twisted the reality is, or you can simply let go of your expectations and accept the truth. The former introduces complications into your life, while the latter helps you eliminate them. Note the word courage here. We all know its meaning. But do we practice it in real life?
No.
Are we ready to let go of all those things that are stopping us from achieving true freedom and happiness? The book shares many ideas from Greek philosophy and Adlerian psychology that helps us tackle these issues. Keep watching this video to learn more. Lesson number 2. Change is simple, when you break free from the cycle of cause and effect.
There we go. To every cause. See, I love the cause and effect. I love cause and effect because it's a simple rule that we have to abide by. Whatever we do has an effect. Whatever that effect is something that we have to deal with. So if you're an incel and you can't get a woman, that is the effect of you being an incel. But if you say, you know what, I'm gonna turn a new leaf. I'm not gonna be an incel. You're gonna go from being a guy that can't get women to a guy that can get any woman that he wants.
Before we discuss happiness, let's try to understand why we become sad and worried in the first place. Almost all of us are controlled by our pasts. We all hold some kind of bad memories that haunt us even today.
Yep. That's why incels are incels. They all have a bad memory. They've all been rejected. They've all been made fun of. They've all been rejected for the way that they look, or the way that they speak, or the way that they talk, or they're rejected because they're too skinny, or they're not buff enough, or they're not tall enough. So that's a bad memory. And far too often, a lot of those bad memories stay with us forever. And they're like a boulder, like in the video, they're like a boulder that we're pushing up a hill. We don't want to let go of those bad memories, so we use them as a measuring stick to our future.
Maybe you had a bad relationship with your parents. Perhaps you were bullied at school. Maybe you were not good at your studies, and nobody believed in you. Maybe you grew up with no friends. It could be anything. The point is, there is always something in our memories that holds us back even today. Despite how much we discuss it, we can't find a way to eliminate them, right? Because if we could, we would have done that already. But Adlerian psychology argues that traumas don't exist. Adler said that we create those emotions to avoid the real issues. The book shares the story of a spoilt brat who wouldn't go out of his home because his parents abused him during his early teenage years. You might think that it's because his parents were abusive that the kid turned out to be like that. But that's not true according to Adler's psychology. His current situation was not a result of his past experiences. That's the fundamental idea behind Adler's psychology. Most people create their own unhappiness, and no bad experience can influence their future. In other words, one can always change his present. Your past can't control you. We can break the cycle of cause and effect using our will. The kid we talked about had a goal not to go outside, as he was not comfortable with others. And he was using his bad experiences as an excuse to avoid any uncomfortable situation.
There we go. A lot of us do that. We use our bad experiences to avoid us going into new situations. We'll say, well, I'm not going to go out on a date because I was rejected by a woman 5 years ago. I'm not going to go back to school because when I was a kid, I failed math. I'm not going to talk to this beautiful girl that I saw at a restaurant because when I did it 5 years ago, it backfired. So we live in our past and we make excuses in the future. All we're doing is just making excuses. That's all incels do, is make excuses. They're like, well, I was bullied for wearing shoes that had holes in them when I was in school, so I'm not gonna wear a certain type of shoe anymore. Or I had big giant glasses when I was in school, so now I'm not gonna wear glasses. We're using those bad experiences in our lives as an excuse to not move forward.
You can also say that the kid didn't have the guts to face the unknown. Every time he thought about going outside, he lied to himself and thought about how his parents abused him in the past. The key to fighting any kind of trauma is to see how we are hiding behind our bad memories and avoiding reality. Remember that change is simple. It is us who make it complicated. Lesson number 3. Anger is a tool that people use to take revenge. Anger. We all know it, don't we? As soon as we get angry, there is no controlling us. That sudden burst of energy is uncontrollable, right? Wrong. Adler argued that emotions don't have the power to control us. Instead, we can resist them. Then why do we speak as if all emotions are out there to get us? The thing is, we all have goals that we want to achieve. For instance, what if a waiter spills the tea on your shirt? What would you do in that case? Most people.
What would you do if a waiter, let's say you're at a restaurant. Let's say I'm gonna do another poem. I'm gonna do a poem. Let me do a poem. If a waiter spilled tea on your shirt, what would you do? I'm going to add an option. I'm going to say, yell at him, be understanding, call the manager. All right, we're going to do this poem. If a waiter spilled tea on your shirt, what would you do? Would you yell at him, be understanding, or call the manager? Again, if you're just joining the stream, we have a poem. If a waiter spilled tea on your shirt, what would you do? Yell at him, be understanding, or call the manager? I'm going to play that part of the video again for those of you who just joined the stream. Shout out to those who joined the stream. Don't forget to vote. If a waiter spilled tea on your shirt, what would you do? And we're going to go back. And here's the question.
We all have goals that we want to achieve. For instance, what if a waiter spills the tea on your shirt? What would you do in that case?
What would you do? What would you do in that situation? You're at a restaurant with a woman or a man, in case there's women watching the stream, and you're at a nice restaurant. What would you do if a waiter spilled tea on your shirt? Would you yell at him, be understanding, or call the manager? Vote, and we're going to read the responses live on air after everybody's voted. So what would you do? What would you do? Because there's a lot of people who would do anything. But a true judge of character is what you would do if a waiter spilled tea on your shirt. And I want to give everybody a chance to vote. So if you're just joining the stream, again, the question is, this is from the video. If a waiter spilled tea on your shirt, what would you do? Yell at him, be understanding, or call the manager? What would you do? And also, don't forget to leave a like as you enter the chat and leave a comment and start the discussion. I just want to make sure that everybody has a chance to vote. Before we go on, I'm going to give everybody another minute or two to vote. And then we're going to talk about it. And then I'm going to share how everybody voted. So let's play the video. You still have time to vote. But we're going to go into what would you do?
Case. Most people who believe that they can't control their anger would suddenly start shouting at that person and then justify that their anger took them over. But this is not true. They wanted to let out their frustration and cool it down by shouting at the person who made the mistake. Instead, they could let go of their momentary anger and say, it could happen with anyone else. This doesn't mean that emotions have no power. They are powerful indeed. But they are not above us. We can resist our emotions and choose whether to act based on them or not. Anger can be helpful too. But unfortunately, most people sought to take revenge in the name of anger.
And that's true. A lot of people will use anger as a irritation. They'll be so irritated at people that they'll use anger and frustration to kind of get one up on somebody. They'll be like, I did this better than you. You don't have to be a slave to your emotions, but you can use anger as fuel to do whatever you want to do.
Remember that you are a human being. You are not a powerless stone that anybody can toss around. You have the power to choose what meaning you assign to your emotions. Lesson number 4. All problems are interpersonal relationship problems, according to Adler's psychology. What if the world didn't have any problems? It'd be amazing, right? But it's impossible. The reason is, for such a condition to be true, there should be only one human being in the universe. Yes, if you were all alone, there would be no problems. You wouldn't need to compete with anyone. You would be the ruler of the universe. There would be no spouse to fight with, or no kids to take care of. There would be no rules to follow. But as soon as there is more than one individual, problems arise. And realistically, that is not going to happen anyway. The key idea here is that all problems are, one way or the other, interpersonal relationship problems. This includes two things: your relationship with yourself and your relationship with others.
There we go. Incels, listen up. This part is for you. Because if you don't have a good relationship, if you don't have a good relationship with self, you're not gonna have a good relationship with others. Your relationship with yourself is paramount to your relationship with others. So if I have low self-esteem, I'm going to have a relationship with others the same way. This is why our relationship with self matters. How you look at yourself matters. How you treat yourself matters. How you dress and how you walk and how you talk and how you act, they all matter.
If either one of these is not correct, you are bound to get complications in your life. If you see every other person as your competition, you will always keep struggling, and will never be able to build great interpersonal relationships. The very first step here is to figure out your identity. How do you see yourself? If you see yourself above others, you will have a superiority complex. On the other hand, you will have an inferiority complex if you see everyone else above yourself. Both are not good if you want to have happiness in your life. Lesson number 5. Inferiority complex is an excuse for not taking responsibility.
Right. Incels, listen up. Incels, listen up. You can't take you have to take responsibility for your own actions, and having an inferiority complex is not the way to do it. Having an inferiority complex is one person said yell at him. So far we got one vote for yell at him. One person said if a waiter spilled tea on your shirt, what would you do? One person said yell at him. I appreciate the honesty. I mean, most of us would yell at him too. Let's keep it a buck. Most of us would yell at him too. I would yell at him. I'm just being honest. I would yell at him. Hold on, give me 1 second. All right.
First of all, both inferiority and superiority complex.
Hold on. Why is this not? Where did my camera go? So now my camera's gone. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Let's remove this. All right, more. Add file. Because I wanted to add the overlay. All right, let's remove it. Never mind. All right, let's go back to the video.
If you have any one of them, don't feel guilty about it. Everybody has those feelings. It's a part of being a human. The problem is, most people don't know how to manage them properly. If you feel inferior to someone, it only means that a part of you wants you to grow. It boils down to your viewpoint. If you keep feeling inferior and use it as an excuse, you won't be able to grow. But if you use it as a stimulant for growth, you will outclass your present self. The philosopher in the book explains that it's healthy as long as you compare yourself with your ideal self. But as soon as you start comparing yourself with every second person, you would fall into one of those complexes, which is not healthy at all. It takes away your happiness. Remember that, since you are a human being, your fundamental responsibility is to reach your highest potential, to become your ideal self, to become the person you always wanted to be when you were a kid. But when you fall into the comparison trap, you waste your energy satisfying other people's expectations and mold yourself according to other people's worldviews. Ever thought about why most people do the latter? That's because it requires a lot of courage to become your ideal self. You have to overcome a lot of hurdles along the way. On the flip side, it's easy to feel superior by calling a person inferior and competing for irrelevant milestones unrelated to your ideal self. Lesson number 6. See people as your comrades, not your enemies. This comparison mindset needs to change, because it makes you feel as if every other person is your enemy. You can't focus on self-growth when you have your mind filled with jealousy. The trick here is to shift your mindset from win-lose to win-win. This is the same idea that Stephen Covey discussed in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. What's the point of winning if only you win and everybody else around you loses? With who will you share your victory then? Sadly, most people live as if they are running a race. But in reality, we all have to race with ourselves, without competing with others. This would help you get free of worries, and every milestone you will achieve would give you immense happiness. The reality is that, even if you don't compete with anyone, other people will find ways to compete with you. You will find many people who would hold a grudge against you for random reasons. You might even want to take revenge. But beware, don't fall into that trap. Revenge is only going to make things worse. You can make wise choices. You can always resist your emotions and think properly. Lesson number 7. Have the courage to be.
All right, so we're going to stop it right there. And we're going to go back to how can incels and men improve? We already talked about number 1. So we're going to skip to number 2. It's human nature to want what seems out of reach. And this is true with women. Women don't want a man who's always available, always around every beck and call. They don't want that. They want a man of mystery. If you act like you don't notice her or you seem unaffected by her presence, it will make her more interested in you. But if you're going around like, I'm so thankful, thank you for hanging out with me, thank you for going on a date with me, thank you for meeting me, thank you for doing it, like you're just so thankful. You don't need to thank everybody every time they do something. That's kind of weird. And it's kind of off-putting to some people where you would be so thankful. It's like you view life as a transaction. It's like, thank you for doing this, thank you for doing that, thank you, thank you, thank you. Number 3 is paramount. Don't always be available, guys. This is especially for the guys. Women hate available men. And we're going to talk about why in a second. But I can tell you from experience, women hate available men. I remember when I was trying to date this woman, she was in New Mexico. And I remember I was hitting her up every single day, every day. And we would talk all day. We would talk all day, every day. Back to back. From the time I got up till the time I went to bed. And I learned that women don't like that. Women don't like it when a man is all over them and they don't have their own lives. Like, you gotta have a life outside of your relationship. You can't make the relationship your entire life. And so that's what women they won't tell you that, but you'll have to learn the hard way. You don't have to be busy all the time, but giving off an impression that you're not always around or accessible can make you more appealing. See, you gotta be unavailable. Number 4, you gotta show intense passion. Being extremely passionate about something, whether it's sports, family, or a hobby, can be very attractive. Passion shows that you have depth and energy, which draws people in. And see, a lot of incels, they really don't have a life outside of the computer. They just sit online all day complaining about women, and they don't want to go out, and they don't want to do this, and they don't want to do that. And then they complain about women, but they have zero experience with women. Like, why are you complaining about women? Like, why are you complaining about women when you don't even go out to meet women? Passion shows that you have depth and energy, which draws people in. Number 5, don't be so easygoing. Women often find a man more attractive when they present a bit of a challenge. If you're always agreeable or easily swayed, it can come off as uninteresting. Like, it's okay to have a different opinion. You don't have to be agreeable all the time. Like, you don't have to be agreeable. You don't have to just agree with everything the woman says. Like, do you like pie? Yeah, I like pie. Do you like cars? I love cars. Do you like fruit? I love fruit. We have so much in common. That woman is not going to be attracted to you at all because you lack substance. You lack depth. You lacked authenticity. Number 6, be assertive and confident. This doesn't mean being aggressive in a harmful way, but showing determination and drive towards your goals and passions. In romantic settings, being assertive, especially in the right context, can be very appealing. Like, women like it when you're assertive in the right context. They like it when you take charge. They like it when you command the room. They don't like men that are weak and timid like most incels are. That's why incels don't get women. Is because they're weak and they're timid. And then when you get around a bunch of women, this is what happens. This is what happens when you're around a bunch of, this is what women do. Women run. They run from people like that. They don't want to be around a timid man who has no backbone and no personality and they're boring as all get out. They don't want to be around that. Number 7, be genuine and true to yourself.
Hey, yo.
Be genuine and true to yourself. Be yourself. You don't need to be anybody other than you. Nobody can beat you being you. There's only one you in the world. There's only one you in the world. Be you. Be unapologetically yourself. Being authentic means being yourself without trying to please everyone or fit into a mold. Bad boys
Help me. Help me.
are often attractive because they are unapologetically themselves. This is why women love the so-called Pookies and Ray Rays and Chads and whoever else. They like these men because they are authentically themselves. They're not going to change for you. They're not going to do anything different for you. What you see is what you get. And the confidence comes because they're authentic to themselves. They don't need to hide behind a suit and tie to be authentically themselves. You don't have to change to fit in. You can be authentically you and still get a woman. And that's what incels don't understand. They think they have to be a giant. They think they have to be somebody that they're not to get the woman of their dreams. And I'm here to tell you that's not the case. You can be whoever you want to be and still get a woman. Number 8, you have to have strong opinions. Being strong-minded and assertive can make you stand out. It shows that you know what you want and aren't easily influenced. This trait is appealing because it suggests leadership and confidence. If you've been a subscriber of my channel for any amount of time, you already know that we talk about confidence a lot. If you want to talk to women, what do you need to have? Confidence. If you want to talk to people, what do you have to have? Confidence. If you want to talk to anybody, what's up, Minister Misty? You're here late. Yeah, you here late. You on CP time. You on CP time tonight. But just to get you caught up to speed with all that we're talking about the topic is the hard truth about modern dating. Men who can't get women versus women who want only money. And so I'm talking about incels and how they really can't get a woman because of themselves. So I'm going through a list of things men can do to get a woman and what women like. And then we're going to talk about if modern women are gold diggers. That's coming up next. Because I have a whole segment about modern women and gold diggers that you don't want to miss. So, number 8 is have strong opinions. You got to be strong-minded and assertive that can make you stand out. It shows that you know what you want and aren't easily influenced. This trait is appealing because it suggests leadership and confidence. However, it's important to balance this with openness. Being too rigid or too dismissive can be off-putting. A healthy balance of assertiveness and humility makes you more attractive and approachable. Women don't like a guy who's an a-hole and arrogant. Women love confidence. Women love confidence. They love confidence. They love swagger. And when I say swagger, I don't mean the new Jordans and all of that. Like when women talk about swagger, I'm actually gonna show you what women talk about. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go into my closet and I'm gonna show the guys what women like when it comes to shoes and whatever else. Give me 1 second and I'll be right back. All right, so we're back, and I'm gonna give, because I know a lot of game. I've had game. Oh, these are all my ties and bow ties. But this is what I'm talking about when it comes to swag. You gotta have swag. When we talk about swag, we're not talking about the swag on men that we see today. This is what we're talking about. Y'all see this? Neckties, bow ties. Yes, these are bow ties that you do not learn how to tie a bow tie. And the necktie. That should be mandatory across men everywhere. Yes, I know how to tie a bow tie. This is one of my favorite bow ties right here. The yellow one. I love this one. This is my favorite bow tie. I mean, you gotta have bow ties, you gotta have ties. These are basic. These are basic things that every man can get in their wardrobe, and it's very inexpensive. It's very cheap to get a tie. You can even go to Marshall's. You can go to Tybar. Go online, go to Tybar.com. I got all my bow ties and all my ties from Tybar.com. $20 will get you a tie or a bow tie. Very inexpensive. So now, and I'm just helping the guys out. Oh, thank you, Minister Misty. Of course. I'm kind of glad that it's getting cold, because then I have an excuse to wear all my bow ties and ties because I really don't. And fellas, you don't have to wear dress clothes all the time. Like a little polo shirt like this goes a long way. And since it's the getting ready to be fall but not winter, I'm gonna give you a cheat code. I wear sneakers a lot. I wear sneakers with a suit. I wear sneakers with dress pants. I wear sneakers during the spring and summer because I really don't want to wear dress shoes in the summer. It's too hot. So I would recommend something like this. This is a low profile sneaker, leather, and it's very fashionable. You can wear this with a suit or dress pants, jeans, whatever. It's a very inexpensive sneaker that can pass as a dress shoe. And you can wear this to the office. You can wear it with a suit. You can wear it with whatever you want to wear it with. It goes with anything. I would recommend these are Steve Madden shoes. I got them from Nordstrom, right? I would get a pair of those. And I would also, where's my brown ones? You can get a pair of brown ones. So you have brown, you have black, and you can also have white. So these are little tips that men can do. Inexpensive shoes, but you can still wear these with just about anything. A suit, a tie. It's going to be winter pretty soon. So again, you can wear just about, knowing how to dress is women. I will tell you from experience, I get a lot of compliments at work, walking to work, on the train, because I dress very nicely. And it boosts your confidence. Like, if you put on a suit and a tie and you walk out of the door, you will be amazed at how well life treats you. This is why men who can't get women, they don't understand that it's the little things that matter. Like dress shoes. These are my favorite dress shoes. Brown cap-toe Oxfords. I strongly recommend any man, if he's thinking about getting any type of dress shoe, you can't go wrong with a cap-toe. And I like how it's a two-tone color. It's like darker in the front, and then it evens out. And then you want to get your shoe tree to help it stay nice and sturdy. So you want to get yourself like an Oxford shoe. And then, since it's going to be winter, my favorite boot in the whole world. I love boots. I love these type of boots because you can wear them with anything. My favorite boot in the whole world, the Chelsea. Men, if you want to get women, this right here will get anybody. The Chelsea boot is a universal and versatile boot that any man can wear. Right. Keeping your shoes clean is part of the little things. I mean, these are clean, but they need to be shined just a little bit more. But you can't go wrong with a decent pair. I've had these for about a year, at least. Yeah, it's been about a year since I've had these. These are, I don't even remember who they're. Alan Edmonds, Chelsea boots. These have a Goodyear wheel, which is very important because when you go, you can actually go to a cobbler and they'll resole them for you. So these boots will last for the rest of your life if you take care of them. You got to keep them shined, keep them looking nice, and you'll be able to get just about any woman you want. Because you need to have that attire. Because when you look at a lot of incels and loser guys, they don't know how to dress. Every single incel you will ever meet has that one thing in common. They don't know how to dress. And I'm gonna do a poll. And this is for the ladies. Let me see. How do let's do a poll. I forgot how to do a let's see. Participants poll. How do I do a poll? Oh, I'm not even on my account. I'm on the other account. I'm going to do a poll. Do women like a well-dressed man? Yes or no? I'm going to do a poll. And I want the women to participate. All right, in the poll. We're going to end this poll. And now we're going to do another poll. Here we go. Ladies, you like a well-dressed man. And we're going to start the poll. Ladies, do you like a well-dressed man? Because because incels always say, well, there's nothing that we can do to get a woman. There's genealogy has screwed us over. We're screwed. We're evolution. If evolution is not going to give us what we deserve, and we just have to accept our fate. But ladies, do you like a well-dressed man? Yes or no? So far, we have one vote of yes, which makes sense because a lot of women do like well-dressed men. I'll never forget, there was a coworker of mine, and every time she would see me, she would always sing that song. It ain't nothing better. It ain't nothing better than a well-dressed man. Or every woman likes a well-dressed man. Women like a well-dressed man. They do. So number 9, this is a big one. Maintain your independence. Fellas, if you're trying to get a woman, that woman shouldn't be your world. The woman should be a part of your world, not your entire world. Like, I even made this mistake. I made this mistake multiple times. I would get a woman and I would start dating, and that was it. All I cared about was her. All I wanted to do was spend time with her. I would cut off all my friends outside of the relationship. I would be like my friends would ask me, yeah, come and hang out. We're going to the bar. We're going to karaoke. We're going to this. We're going to that. And I'm like, no, I'll stay home. No, I'll stay home. And then before you know it, they're not asking you to do anything anymore. They're not talking to you anymore. They're not calling you or texting you anymore. Because they are trying to be your friend and you're rejecting them all because you have a woman. How many of you are guilty of that? How many of you are guilty of being in a relationship and then you make your relationship your entire identity? We've all been there. We've all done it. At least one time, we've all done it. We've said, you know what? Forget my friends. I'm in a relationship now. And this relationship, guilty. Right. I've done it too. I've done it multiple times. I've actually done it multiple times. Wait, hold on. Where's where's my memes at? Because now that I can play memes, where is it? It's from the Boondocks. Boondocks. Is it this? No. Where is it? Because I want to play it. Here we go. I get it.
Deliberate on. Guilty! That nigga is guilty! Sir, settle down. You have to go deliberate. I don't need to deliberate. Hang that nigga now. I got the rope right here.
Uncle Ruckus, yeah, guilty. We all been guilty. We cut our friends off just because of a new relationship. Then the relationship doesn't work out, and all of a sudden we're hitting them all back up like, hey, what's up? Haven't talked to you in a while. Hey, and then they'll hit you with, you broke up with them, didn't you? And then they'll be upset at you because you hadn't talked to them the entire relationship. And then as soon as y'all break up, you run back to them, and then eventually they get tired of you. And then they're like, no, you cut us off one too many times. You gonna have to make new friends. That's happened to me multiple times. But I learned, but we all live and we learn. We all live and learn. There we go. So having your own life, this is important. Having your own life, interests, and hobbies is crucial. Women are more attracted to men who are self-sufficient and don't rely on them for anything. Independence shows that you respect yourself and have your own identity. It also keeps things interesting because you're not always available, which can make her more curious about you. Remember, it's about wanting her, not needing her. And that goes for both women and men. It's about wanting a relationship, wanting a companion, wanting somebody that you can be with. Instead of needing, it shows neediness when you're when you're around a person and you're talking to them all day and they become your identity. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Help me. Help me.
What is the gold digger compared to modern women today? What is a gold digger compared to modern women today? And this is how I feel right now.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Because I'm going to get into some stuff now. So we all heard the term gold digger. And we all think that just because a woman asks for money or uses you for a dinner date, that means she's a gold digger, right? We've all seen the skits of men filming their dates, and then they're filming because the date bit the head off of a lobster, slurped some pasta, didn't want to go to the Cheesecake Factory, wanted to go to Steak 48 or Ruth's Chris or a Double Eagle Steakhouse instead of going to Applebee's, Outback, Cheesecake Factory, Olive Garden, or one of those other chain restaurants. So, what is the gold digger? Well, the dictionary defines a gold digger as a person who forms a relationship with another purely to extract money from them. They're not doing the nasty. They're not on social media bragging to their homegirls. The sole purpose is to get money and resources. That's it. That's a gold digger. A dinner date is not being a gold digger. That's being broke and being hungry. That's not a gold digger. Modern women are not gold diggers. They are just broke women. So we're going to look at what the internet says about being a gold digger. Ace Tyra says men who prioritize looks are simply having a preference. But when a woman prioritizes financial stability, she's called a gold digger. Make it make sense. But you're not looking for financial stability because as a gold digger, you already have it. You're just looking to extract money from a wealthy man in exchange for him being able to use you as arm candy or use you for publicity or to have a beautiful woman on his arm. That's a gold digger. Modern women are just broke women. Trust me, we're going to get into why I know all of this stuff. Because I know a lot about the streets. A lot. The key difference between gold diggers and broke women. Broke women complain about 50-50 and what a man should do. Gold diggers will seek out men with money based on criteria that rich, wealthy men exhibit. Keep that in mind because I'm going to explain why that's important. Broke women think a date at Olive Garden, Outback Steakhouse, or Red Lobster. I know Red Lobster hate over here. Before y'all come for me in the comments, I know that the owner of Red Lobster is a black man and they revamped the menu, but Red Lobster is not really that good eating. It's good, but wealthy men typically don't eat at Red Lobster on a regular basis. Gold diggers know the difference between a vintage wine, a Merlot, a Cabernet, and look for rich colors and flavors. Facts, Alpines. Exactly. Gold diggers know the difference between a vintage wine, Merlot, Cabernet, and look for rich colors and flavors. They know what wine pairings are best with different foods. Broke women don't know the difference between a salad fork and a dinner fork, and they don't know basic etiquette. Show of hands. If you've ever done any type of fine dining before, do you know what the little handkerchief that is on the table is for? Because when you go to like a Double Eagle Steakhouse, or you go to like Steak 48 or Ruth's Chris or Del Frisco's Double Eagle Steakhouse, when you sit down, they have a water glass, and then they have a seating arrangement, and then they have a little napkin styled in a certain way. So you take that napkin and you put it on your lap. That's etiquette. You drink wine out of a wine glass. You drink whiskey out of a glass like this. This is let me make myself bigger. You drink wine. You drink wine out of a wine glass. You drink whiskey out of this is a whiskey glass. They call it a highball glass. Let me do some etiquette. Because this is what a gold digger will understand. Do I have? Okay, I do. I'm going to get the different types of glasses that a gold digger would be able to use. The basics, however, I don't drink. Good for you. I don't drink. Well, I drink, but I drink in moderation. Let me see. All right, 1 second. So this is the basics. So when a gold digger goes to a restaurant, they're going to know the differences between the different glasses. So you have a champagne glass, and how you hold the glass is very specific. When you're dealing with a woman that knows her way around wealthy establishments, you can tell who knows what they're doing and who doesn't, simply by the way they hold a champagne glass. A lot of people who don't know how to handle a glass like this, they'll hold it like this. And then I've seen people do that multiple times. And it irks me every time people do that. Because when you hold the glass like this, it brings the champagne, it makes it warmer and dilutes the flavor. So you always want to hold it like this, by the stem. The second glass that a gold digger would know how to use is a simple wine glass. You hold it by the stem, like the champagne glass, and you never fill it all the way up to the top like we did when we were younger. I learned that when we would drink wine when we were kids, we would always pour the wine all the way up to the top. No, you pour it just a little bit and then you swish it around and then you smell it. That's basics. And what a gold digger would know how to do. They would know how to do that. They aren't going to drink wine out of a whiskey glass. And wait a minute, there's one more glass I want to show for the people who are learning about gold diggers. Right. I don't believe you should make it that only a gold digger would know that, because I've done catering and I know that it's called clients. Right. It is clients. So this can also go for men and women. It's about clients. But it's like a lot of people don't know this. I was surprised that a lot of people don't know this and they don't really have clients. So you're right. It's not just about gold digging. It's about clients. What's up, Yasmin? I made it. What are we talking about? We're talking about gold diggers. We're talking about men who can't get women versus women who only want money, and the difference between a gold digger and a non-gold digger. And modern women are, a lot of modern women aren't gold diggers. They're just broke. So we talked about the wine glass, the champagne glass. For those of you who don't know, this is a cognac glass. You put Hennessy. I came over and I ate too. Right. CP time. CP time. I'm going to hit y'all with this. Hold on. This is Nate from Set It Off for all the people that were late. Wait, hold on. I hate when this happens. Wait. This is for the late people.
But you ain't get a doggone thing until you stand up in it.
That's Nate from Set It Off. But back to what I was saying. So the cognac glass, I had to come after our conversations on Twitter. Right, because we be talking about all different types of stuff on I'm Not in the Bind, Nate. Right. I'm in a bind, Nate. But yeah. But it's like we're talking about clients and gold diggers, but I know a lot about, going back to what I was, let me add this. Remove an ad. Here we go. So, broke women don't know the difference between a salad fork and a dinner fork, and they don't know basic etiquette. So gold diggers know, here we go, Rolexes. Shout out to all my watch people. I've seen real Rolexes and fake. I know the difference. And I'll tell you how to spot a real one and a fake one. A gold digger knows the difference between a fake or a real Rolex. They know how to spot a man with an AP watch. For those of you who are into watches, you know what an AP stands for. I'm not gonna try to pronounce the name, but it's, how do you say, Osmores Piguet, something like that? A vintage watch. and they pay attention to the man that is not overly flashy or loud. Like men that wear Cuban link chains and bright t-shirts with the new Jordans and the red pants. No, that's not wealth. Wealthy people are very, very quiet when it comes to their money. They're extremely quiet. I'll give you an example. A wealthy person, you would not be able to tell who's wealthy and who's not until you went to their house. I do love a well-dressed man. You missed it. I'll go back and I was talking about how to be a well-dressed man. So, because you were late, I'll just go through it very quickly. If I don't knock everything over on the desk. This is my tie collection. So as a man, you have to learn how to wear a tie and a bow tie. Yes, I know how to tie a real bow tie and a real tie. That's mandatory. Every man should know how to do both of these professionally. And then we have the Oxford dress shoe, the cat-toe Oxford dress shoe, which is a staple dress shoe to be a well-dressed man. We have the boot, Chelsea boots, since it's going to be fall, winter coming up. These are very good to wear in the fall and the winter. You keep your feet warm and you're very stylish. And then we also have the sneakers that I wear all the time. I have a pair of black and a pair of black and brown. These are awesome. You can wear them with a suit, dress clothes, khakis, chinos. You can wear them all day, every day, very comfortable, but they can pass as like decent sized shoes that you can wear to work. So that right before you came in, that's what I was talking about. So, and women love a well-dressed man. That's numero uno, being a well-dressed man. A lot of incels don't allow a classy, right. A classy rich man won't be too flashy. He's not dressed to impress. The broke men are the ones wearing designer to impress other people, especially them. Right. Because you will never know if this person has money until you go to their house and you see them in $1 million subdivision with 4 different vehicles. And this is how rich people are. They will have 4 cars. They will have 2 that they barely drive. And they will have a regular Ford Explorer, a regular Dodge pickup truck, or a Lincoln Town Car, or if they do luxury, it's a Lexus, or like maybe a Tesla. But then in the garage, they'll have the Porsche or the Mercedes C300 or the G-Wagon or the BMW M5 or the Mercedes AMG. They'll have those in the garage, but they'll have the everyday cars as their daily drivers. And they'll shop at like Burlington or TJ Maxx. But you'll never know because they wear clothes that are very plain, but they're very expensive. Like a V-neck t-shirt will be like $400, but you would never know. And women are easily impressed by flash. They're like, oh, you're wearing a Rolex and you got the new J's. But look at the dial. Look at the dial. If you want to know if a Rolex is fake or not, a Rolex doesn't tick. The hand does not tick, it glides. An AP, an Audemars Piguet, I'm probably pronouncing the name wrong, does the same exact thing as a Rolex. It glides. It doesn't tick. Right. I learned that in my early 20s. My boss lived in a gated community. She was the worst and most basic dressed person. Her husband was also a doctor. Right. So, where is it? Broke women are easily impressed by brands like Armani Exchange, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Hermes, and Michael Kors. See, here we go. Here we go. Gold diggers often hang where wealthy men hang out. They know how to seduce a wealthy man. Never plays all of her cards and understands the game. What is the game? The game is the gift of game. They know how to talk to a man that's wealthy. They know how to approach. Typos. I be getting all types of typos on my iPhone whenever I'm texting people, and I hate it. They know how to play the game, and they know how to play it well. Because I'll never forget, I remember I was at work, and this older black lady, gave me some good advice, and I was younger, and I didn't understand what she's saying. And she said, you got to learn the game, and you got to know how to play it. And me being younger, I was like, what in the world? The game? What are you talking about? Xbox? PlayStation 2? I think the PlayStation 2 was out back then. Xbox 1, PlayStation 2. So I was thinking, she was thinking about video games, not the game of life and how to play to win. But as I got older, I was like, okay, yeah, I get it. I understand. I understand what you're saying now. Broke women don't hang out and see, here we go, country clubs, golf courses, or Formula One races. They fail to understand that there are levels of men, and they think all men move the same way. I'm here to tell you, if you want to find a wealthy man, you don't even have to know how to golf. Just go to the golf course. Just go to the golf course. Any golf course in your city or state, there's got to be one. Go to a golf course. I guarantee you there's going to be wealthy men there that play golf. How do I know? I golf from time to time. I've been golfing. I remember when I went golfing one time, I saw a Porsche, and it wasn't the 911 Turbo. It was like a souped up version of a 911 Turbo that it looked like a race car almost, but it was backed up in a parking space for members only. And I was like, well, daggone it. And then you see stuff like that at the golf course all the time. You see Rolls Royces, you see Bentleys, Porsches. I've even seen a Ferrari at the golf course. Because these are people that go there to golf and they're members. So they pay tens of thousands of dollars a year to be a member of this golf course. And then they play golf with their friends. So you already know that their friends are going to be wealthy. They're going to be wealthy. Right. Golf. I can't golf, but I'll go from time to time just to play. And I'm not talking about Top Golf either. I'm not talking about Top Golf. I'm talking about an actual country club golf course. I'll be right back. We'll be here. We'll be here. I'm not going anywhere. It's a golf course. So you got to go to an actual golf course where there's 18 holes, 18, 19 holes, and then you just hang out. You got to dress the part. Look nice, smell good, be a damsel in distress, and you'll be able to get a rich guy. So now we're going to look at what women again think a gold digger is. So men, you should not work. Be a trad wife. Women then provide. Man, gold digger. And here we have some profiles of alleged professional gold diggers. So we see Pie the Goat, Army vet, chef, trucker, I guess she's a trucker, IG passport pie, Marvel fan, post thirst traps for entertainment, no DMs gold digger. Then, oh no, here we go with the tarot. Tarot reader and psychologist by day, manifesting baddies by night, FLR enthusiast, a tantra goddess, certified gold digger, modern mortician. PVT. Gold digger, sweetie princess. I love depriving desperate men for sport. Femdom, $30 to approach properly. ASMR, POV, princess. None of these are gold diggers. Because a gold digger is not going to advertise that they're a gold digger. That's bad. That's bad for business. I've never been golfing. However, I would eat lunch at a country club when I was younger. They got some good food at a country club. Ooh wee. Some of the best food I've ever had was at a country club. Like they have the standard stuff, but they also have the good stuff. They have the good stuff. And none of these are gold diggers. Imagine calling a woman a gold digger while still using an iPhone XR. I ain't gonna lie, a lot of wealthy men don't have the up-to-date phones. A lot of them, some of them may even still have a flip phone, depending on how old they are. I mean, I know they don't have the Blackberries anymore. But I'll be honest, wealthy men, you couldn't separate them from a Blackberry. Y'all remember those old Blackberry phones? that had the keyboard on it, and it was small, but it was small enough to fit in your pocket, but it was clunky. And you had email on them old phones. I gotta find a picture of it. Cause now I forgot the name of it. 2000. This is it. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. The BlackBerry Z10. This is the BlackBerry that had the world, especially wealthy people and people that worked for the government. They loved this phone. I had one too. I miss that phone. If I could use it right now, I would. I would literally use the old school BlackBerry right now. This is the old school BlackBerry. Let me remove this. This is it. Old school BlackBerry. I had a burgundy one. The old school BlackBerry. And it had that little trackball in the middle of it. A lot of wealthy men don't have the most up-to-date phone because they believe in practicality. They don't want to spend money on an up-to-date phone every single year. So they will be frugal and have an old school phone for years and years and years until it actually breaks or is no longer supported. And then they'll be forced to change into their mine was black. Yeah, I remember that BlackBerry. And that was back when phones were durable too. Now phones are like pieces of crap and you break it if you breathe on it too hard. And then few men are so insecure that wanting a financially stable partner is now considered being a gold digger. And it's not. It's not considered being a gold digger. Because being a gold digger, again, involves getting money from men. Not because you need the money, but because you're skilled at extracting money from men. Boy math is being afraid of gold diggers when you only have 3 pairs of socks to your name. That's not true. It warms my heart when I see men that lead with money get the gold digger they deserve. And I'll admit, men that lead with money usually attract women that just want you for your money. That's how men screw up in the dating world, is because they lead with money instead of leading with leadership and guidance and structure. You want to lead with your wallet. But there's a caveat to that, and I'm going to explain the caveat because I've learned a lot over the years of life. Men, when you're dealing with a woman, and even if you're talking with the woman or you're getting to know a woman, if you can make that woman's life easier, that will make the woman fall for you even more. Like if you're talking to a woman and let's say she just got off of work and you be like, yeah, come over and we can chill. And then when she comes over to your place, it's clean, it smells good, she kicks off her feet, and she doesn't have to do anything. You pamper her because y'all are talking, y'all are getting to know each other. That's different from just going up to a woman you never met and being like, here's my money. Here's all my money in my wallet. Here you go. Here's all my credit cards, my American Express black card, and here's all my money. Like there's a difference. So when you're dealing with a woman and you're getting to know a woman, you should make her feel comfortable, pampered, and at home. And she doesn't have to really do anything. Like taking a woman out on a date shouldn't break the bank, because you should be going out to different places by yourself. As a man, you should have like at least 3 different spots where the waiters and the waitresses know you by name, they know what you order, and you have a relationship with the staff. That's attractive to a woman. Right. That's attractive to a woman. Women like that. That shows that you're a man that has value, that you're around, that you're not sitting at home all day scrolling on your phone looking for something to do, and then you don't really go out, so you just sit at home all day. Like every man should at least have 3 different spots that they can take a woman to that's reasonably priced, but they have great food. So men shouldn't complain about women and men going on dates, because as a man, you should already be doing that with yourself. And then the next one, Jasmine, she says, I will never lie to a man and say I don't like money, because I do. If that makes me a gold digger, then pass me a shawl. But there's a difference. You can like money and still not be a gold digger. So now we're gonna get into the game, the game of being a gold digger and how they move and how they walk, because these are the things that I've experienced in real life. Because I used to hang out in Washington, D.C. This was back before all the trouble happened, and how this was years ago. I'm talking about early to late 2000s, back when the club was pumping. And we would go out, and I would interact with women that were real life. Who wins, Crawford or Camelo? I have no clue who wins, Crawford or Canelo. I don't know. I have no clue. Crawford versus Canelo. Oh, that's boxing. Boxing tonight. I'm gonna go with Crawford. Who wins tonight? Crawford. I'm gonna go with Crawford. I totally forgot boxing was tonight. I'm not a big fan of boxing, but I watch it from time to time. But we're gonna get into what a gold digger is, because a lot of these modern women out here are not gold diggers, because gold diggers, they live by a different law of life. I've actually interacted with women that were gold diggers. They're very nice, very hospitable people. They're not going to the club and looking to drain your wallet on day one. They do it. There's a method. They have a certain air about them that gold diggers have. So number one, gold diggers follow a strict set of rules. If you want to live in a castle, you have to look like a princess. That's number one. You will never, ever, ever see a gold digger wearing anything less than something nice. Ever. They will go to Best Buy in a dress. They will go to Target in a dress. They will go to Trader Joe's or the Whole Food stores in a dress and heels. They'll even go to a sports bar in a uppity part of town in a dress. They're always looking to dress better to attract a different caliber of man. Number two, you can't have a low budget look trying to get wealthy men. You really have to invest in yourself. Exactly. You can't get $1 million man with a Dollar General budget. Because trust and believe, men with money, they know. They know what kind of shoes that you're wearing and where they came from because they know about shoes. They know about shoes. They know about colognes and perfumes. They know about fashion. They know about vintage pieces. They know about art. Another good place to meet wealthy guys is go to an art gallery in a nice place of town. Into an art gallery in a nice town. When your targets see that you invest in yourself and take care of yourself, they're going to want to continue the process as well. If he's financially, here we go, because this all ties together. Remember when women were saying about 3 socks to his name and how he really doesn't have any gold to dig? If he's financially disciplined, he wants a woman who's at the very least financially disciplined. So these modern women are out here and they're calling themselves gold diggers, or they say they're claiming to be gold diggers and they're not, because what woman that's financially responsible is going to be begging for money online? If you go on Twitter right now on the 1st of every month, there's always a woman begging for rent money. Not for broke men. No, you just broke. They always do that around the end of the month and the beginning of the month. They always do that not for broke men tweet. Always. A gold digger is not going to be online begging for money. Women who only want money are not online. They're not on social media. White clothes give the illusion of wealth and success, even if you're not rich. That's true. Wealthy people know this. Wear as many white outfits as you can. White shoes, white dress, white fedora, white hat, white everything. Wear white stuff. Wealthy men do notice a woman's shoes and she looks at the style of shoe that a woman is wearing. Ladies, they know. They know what kind of shoe you wear, where it came from, if it's real or if it's fake. And I mean, you don't have to break the bank and get a pair of red bottoms to impress a wealthy guy. What's more important is that you know how to walk in heels. You don't have to wear the 6-inch heels or the 5-inch heels or whatever heels they got out now. Just get you a nice, comfortable pair of heels and learn how to walk. That's all you need. When wealthy men see that you have nice shoes, it tells them that you take time out to care for your feet. Men like nice feet. Gold diggers have nice feet. I've never met a gold digger with bad looking feet, ever. The subconscious correlation men will make is that you're going to take the same care and dedication with other parts of your body and by extension with other people. How you take care of yourself, man or woman, is how you're going to take care of a partner or a potential mate. Somebody that you want to date. That's why men who can't get women, look at how they dress. Look at how they look. Look at how their fingernails are dirty. Women, let me make my... Women hate dirty fingernails. Fellas, please clip your fingernails. Please, please, please clip your fingernails. Every man, and I'm going to show this because a lot of men don't have this. A lot of men need one of these. This is my little bag for my fingernail clippers. I have a whole set. Use it. You need a fingernail clipping set. This is why women don't like it when you touch them, because your fingernails aren't clipped. This is a fingernail set. It's around $20 on Amazon. If you don't have one, get one. Every man needs a fingernail clipping set. And this is what it looks like inside. It's a fingernail clipping set. Every man needs a fingernail clipping set. Mandatory. Because women are not going to want you to touch them and you have dirty fingernails. That tells them that if you have dirty fingernails, what else is dirty? Is your house dirty? Is your car dirty? There's 3 things that you need to keep neat as a man. And I'm talking to the incels. If you're a man and you have dirty fingernails, a dirty house, or a dirty car, no woman will want to date you. None. Women don't want a man that has a dirty house, a dirty car, or dirty fingernails, or a dirty appearance. Clean your nails unless it's a man that works with his hands. Exactly. And most men don't really work with their hands. Some do, but even construction guys will keep their nails clean. Even the construction guys will keep their nails clean. And more than that, here we go. More than that, shoes and feet are an aphrodisiac to men. When they see women in heels, they zone in on the way they walk and how graceful their stride is. Ladies, the best way to walk in heels without them hurting your feet is to walk one foot in front of the other. That will help alleviate the pain, and it will give you a graceful, sophisticated look that will help you look more thorough in the game. Simple. You want to look more thorough in the game, you gotta learn how to walk in heels. You have to learn how to walk in heels. Because when you learn how to walk in heels, what happens? You have that confidence. You have that swagger. Women can have swag too. Men love, like men, we are a sucker for a well-dressed woman. Like a nice silhouette with some heels and a nice dress and then a nice perfume and then some earrings that match the necklace and maybe even like a sun hat or a fedora. There are women that look good in hats. I personally love a woman that wears hats. Whether it's a baseball cap, a fedora, whatever hat. I love a woman that wears hats. That's like the key to my heart right there. Ladies, if you want the key to my heart, wear a hat and it's over. It's over. Just wear a hat. And see how to spot a rich man. And see, this is important because you have a lot of these modern women that are online complaining about broke men. That alone proves that they don't know how to talk to men. They don't know what they're doing, and they're not gold diggers. Because women that are around men with money are happy. Women that ride around in a Porsche 911 Turbo GTR are happy. So number one, and we just talked about this, one thing you want to look at are a man's hands. If you see a man with a manicure, that means he likes to present himself in a certain way. Wealthy men get manicures. They get manicures and they get pedicures. They keep their feet clean. Their toenails are trimmed and cut. They keep their fingernails clean and trimmed. And their hands are soft. Because a lot of wealthy men aren't doing manual labor. That goes into number two. Look at the fingernails. Women will pay more attention to detail than a man will. But you gotta look at those fingernails. When you see a guy with nice hands, that shows he's not doing manual labor. Most millionaires just don't do manual labor. They have other guys doing the grunt work. That's true. Wealthy guys don't really do, wealthy people don't really do much, to be honest. Wealthy men don't do much. Wealthy men, they run a business. They're in meetings all day. Or the business that they built is running itself. And then they're off somewhere with their family in the city somewhere. And they're barely at the office because they're doing other stuff. They're running their business, but they're also spending time with family, going on trips, going on vacation. And I mean, even some wealthy people, if they live on the East Coast, some wealthy people even go to the West Coast during the winter. They'll go to the West Coast, like Los Angeles, Arizona, Washington State, where it's hot and it's warmer. And they'll spend the winter over there, and then they'll come back here for the spring and the summer and the fall, and then they'll go back to their other house on the other side of the state. Like, if you see a man and he's always traveling, chances are he has money. He's not going to be able to travel if he doesn't have money. Wealthy men dress clean. Nice shoes, nice tie, nice bow tie, shine shoes, iron shirt, pocket square in the suit jacket. They're very clean. They're very military. They're clean like they're in the military. Wealthy men dress clean and they're well groomed. They don't wear loud colors and they don't display over the top jewelry. They really don't. And the casually dressed guy sitting at the bar could be an undercover millionaire. There are targets who purposely dress down and drive an average-looking car to hide their wealth. We were just talking about that too. The average guy that dresses nice, but he dresses down to look less important, and he dresses to fit in. Like, he's the guy that'll wear a hoodie and jeans and sneakers and a baseball cap, like he's an average everyday person until you go to his house and he has a giant penthouse the size of an office building, and you would never know. Wealthy guys are very polite. They're very kind. They're very generous. They're very friendly. A lot of people think wealthy guys are a-holes. Absolutely not. A lot of wealthy men are very humble. They're very kind, but they can be a little rough around the edges. He would need to in this dating climate. Right. He would need to be mean to a certain degree, but not mean, but just have a backbone. Like, have a backbone. Like, he would need to have a backbone, because women will run you over if you don't have a backbone. They will run you over. They will destroy you in this climate. Follow them around town and see where they hang out. They might be driving that bucket to the yacht club. They might spread their wealth in several different banks and investment houses. Fake watch. We were also talking about this too. Fake watch. The second hand of a genuine Rolex does not tick. In most watches. Right. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, he definitely needs to hide as well in this climate. Because women of today are trained to look for wealth. They see wealth. They see wealth and then they're like vultures. They're like vultures. They'll swoop in and then they'll be like, they'll pick you off with they'll be like vultures and pick you off. So I'm gonna finish this one video.
Right.
Wait. I'm gonna finish this one video. This video is about the courage to be disliked. So we were watching it earlier and then we stopped. So we're gonna, right, exactly. We're gonna watch the rest of it and then we're gonna call it a night because I've been on here for 3 hours. Like, dang, it's almost 10 o'clock. But sometimes, as I was saying earlier, sometimes you have to be disliked. Like, there's no way around it. Sometimes you're not going to be able to please everybody in the room, and that's okay. But where men who don't get women go wrong at is that they try too hard to be people pleasers. They use their traumas as an excuse. And then they don't realize that they are the author and finisher of their own lifestyle. And once you realize that, you can move on. Thanks. Yeah, exactly. Thanks. Once you master the art and have the courage, and you have the courage to be disliked, it's okay to be disliked. You're not going to be for everybody, and that's okay. Sounds good because I have church in the morning, yeah? You know it, tomorrow's Sunday. I think it's the second Sunday at my old church. Yeah, there's 4 Sundays in this month. So on the 4th Sunday of every month, because I was raised Baptist, but I really don't go to church that much. But every 4th Sunday of the month, we would have communion on every 4th Sunday. Let me remove this. That's why a lot of this generation isn't effing despite him. Right. Exactly. That's why. That's why. So let's...
Absolute freedom from other people's judgments. Absolute freedom comes when you can live your life based on your terms.
Right. And that's true freedom. True freedom is when you're able to live life on your own terms. You're not living your life based on somebody else's terms or how somebody else wants you to live or somebody else telling you to live. You're marching to the beat of your own drum and you're happy. And a lot of incels, they can't do that. They're focused on... And I'm going to add this to the stage because y'all missed it. I'm going to go, hold on, I'm going to go back to the beginning. So, the guy in the pink, in the hot pink pants, he's a Chad. in the incel community, this guy is what they call a chain. And this guy right here, he's the incel. So the incel is upset because he can't be the Chad Trones and incels. I swear, when I saw this picture, I thought this was from what was that game? Final Fight, that old school game, Final Fight, and Streets of Rage. Cause I swear there's a guy that looks just like this guy in both of those games. Final Fight, and he looks like one of the bosses in Streets of Rage on level 1, I think. Right.
From other people's expectations. But often, when we discuss interpersonal relationships, there is a conflict between the expectations. You might find your close friends or relatives disliking you if you don't do what they expect of you. Even if you try to satisfy everybody else, you will have to sacrifice your own choices. And unfortunately, even then, you might have a few left who won't be satisfied. So what should one do in such a complicated situation? The solution here is draw or define a boundary between you and the other person.
There it is. Boundaries. You got to have boundaries. You can't get away in life and not have boundaries. Boundaries are good. They are healthy. We all need boundaries. We all have boundaries. We have boundaries with friends, family, our partner, our co-workers, or religious leaders. We have boundaries, and boundaries are healthy.
If the other person has unrealistic expectations from you, you don't have to change yourself.
There it is. That's the key. That is the key. A lot of women have unrealistic expectations about dating and relationships. But as a man, you don't have to change who you are just because she has those unrealistic expectations. You can be like, bye, I ain't gonna deal with that. Like, you can be like, bye. Because we live in a time and a society where everybody wants it like Burger King. They want to have it their way. This is not Burger King, and you can't go to the counter and order a double Whopper with cheese, no onions and pickles. You can't do that. That's not realistic.
That's not your task.
Exactly.
You can't control what other people think anyway. Does this mean you don't have to care what other people think and become selfish? Not at all. It's the other way round. If someone is trying to manipulate you through his expectations or emotional drama, that is selfish. Keep in mind that the other person can only manipulate you if you don't have control over your emotions.
Bam! There it is. There it is. And this is a good stopping point. Another person cannot manipulate you as long as you have control over your emotions, because they use your emotions to manipulate you. That's it. That's the secret. A lot of these guys that be manipulating women are not criminal masterminds that grew up watching Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego and solving all of the problems. A lot of men that try to manipulate women are dumb. And I'm saying that because that's the truth. A lot of men that he manipulated me. A lot of those men are complete. They were in special ed in school. They rode the short bus. They were special ed. And even today, they're still doing the same crap that they were doing back in high school. So, control your emotions, learn how to master your emotions, have realistic expectations, learn that you're not limited to your facial features as a man to get women. If it ain't broke, don't fix. Right. That I had an old friend of mine who said that same thing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But anyway, y'all, it is 10 o'clock and we all have to go to church tomorrow, or we have to do what we have to do for the rest of tonight. So this is where I'm going to leave off, but I'm going to go live next week. We're going to go live next week. And we're going to continue this topic, the hard truth about modern dating, men that can't get women versus women who only want money. We're going to do a part 2 next week on Tuesday or Wednesday. So stay tuned for that. Everybody have a great night. Shout out to everybody who dropped by. Shout out to Minister Misty, to King Pix, and also to Yasmin. Shout out to you. Thanks for stopping by. And everybody else that watched in an incognito window because they wanted to be nosy. I appreciate you for watching incognito. But I'm going to get out of here. Y'all have a safe night. Have a great Sunday day tomorrow at church or whatever you choose to worship, even if you don't worship. I hope you have a great rest of the weekend, and I'll see you next week. Peace.